السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في محكمه الكتاب الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. صدق الله العظيم. My dear brothers and sisters, I begin by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing me this noble opportunity to be present here on this blessed day of Jumma in the blessed month of Muharram. The significance and beauty of Muharram is such that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam classifies this month as Shahrullah al-Muharram. It is the sacred month of Allah, the month of Muharram. With that being said, as you may see, it is our nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us that anything and everything around us affects us in some way, shape, or form. And that is just a system of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you will understand this, that we all come from a very different background, and those experiences in our life, they affect the decisions we make moving forward. And these differences are because of the different aspects and experiences each and every one of us has had. Similarly, the most effective or the most effective relationship takes place with those that are around us. And why it is so important to be mindful is because the people around us have the biggest impact on the decisions and people we become. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave a message. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that the example of a righteous company and the example of a wicked company is like that of a person who owns a micro shop and that of a glass shop. He said, when you go to a thrifting shop, even if you just pass by, you will be exposed with fragrances and you'll be amazed by that. And if you want to get even more benefit, you can go and purchase an item, and of course you will have something like you take back with you. And that is the example of a good companion, that just being in your presence allows us to take some benefit from them. Even if we're just around them, we will be benefited. And then if we sit in their company to understand just better with them, to gain some knowledge and information, we will be able to do so. And then the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, the example of a wicked companion is like that of a blacksmith. What happens to the blacksmith in his workstation, if you go around his workstation, you're going to be surrounded by smoke, by unavailable conditions, very difficult conditions. And if you get too close, you're either going to burn your clothes or you're going to burn yourself. And that is the analogy the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to explain that a bad act, the effect it has on an individual, a lot of times we don't even see the effect that takes place because all of it is happening in the background and we won't see it until it's too late. Now, think of this for a moment. No matter who they are, we are to be affected, positively or negatively. If we're around negatively, we are going to be affected positively. If we are around bad, we are going to be affected negatively. Imagine a person going through God this is going on with us. that we are constantly surrounded by people who are completely neglectful of our rights subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are constantly neglected in our workplaces, in our schools, in these environments. We're constantly surrounded by people completely negligent of the meanings of Rabbul Alamin subhanahu wa ta'ala. How much more effort do we need to make to constantly protect these people? How much more do we need to do to cover the effect of this environment? It is something to honor with. Like I remember an example I can remember, famous evidence here on the ground as well as others, actually sake of reminder, that the Prophet was looking for a family, but even a husband, that before he was a man, he was 99 people. When this person was 99 people, he went to the central, and he said, okay, I have committed such and such and such and such sin. We need to look at it with God, for we need to get it, we need to try to forgive this one. It's just a question of support. There's no coming out of the there's no forgiveness. So he said, okay, that's a way to people who has not been. Later on, some time goes by, we have some words that lead to come back to us and so he goes to his scholar and he says, okay, with a sentence of time, he's telling you the repentance one. Now understand that in this aspect of change, that one of us won't change, our perception are completely right in terms of us wanting to change. However, the steps that we are supposed to take comes into the steps that we do take. That the person wants to change, so the steps that you want to change, the first thing you have to do is leave the environment you are in. The moment you leave the environment you are in, that is when change will happen. Otherwise, being in the company of the people you are around, you're constantly thinking towards negativity and evil and all, you will never be able to achieve this change. And that is the reality of the majority of people that want to change. That they have connections. They want to come out of whatever they are doing, but the environment around them does not allow them to succeed, rather makes them fail. Anyway, this person was told, I go to such and such city, you will find righteous people there. When you are here, there is the land where you will find improvement and forgiveness. So he said, no problem, let's travel to that land. As he is traveling to that land, he is going to have the conflict that his rights to be taken. There was a mistake now between the Malaika and Maulana. Malaika will make the case that as much as God is ready to want to forgiveness, I should be the one to take his soul. Malaika are saying God should be punished because he has not made him forgive. He is on his way, but he has not made him forgive. The case is presented before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the decision is made that whichever land is closer to, the Malaika of that particular area will take place. If he is closer to the land of Mecca, the Malaika will look for the taking of versus if he is closer to the land of the fitna and punishment for he was doing wrong, then the Malaika will take this person's life. Eventually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be in a way where the land of Mecca was closer because of which Malaika took this person's life. The point, though, is that when they made a decision to make Tawbah and turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek mercy, the next step after that is to eliminate all things that we describe as those sins. Otherwise, it's just going to happen over and over again, and we will never be able to completely come out of that mess before we protect ourselves. And what happens with this legal companionship? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala These people come back and we take advice, what will be the situation of God on the day of judgment. Allah says in the scripture, I'm going to translate it for you. I will tell you the story, and I will try to get it perfectly. Allah says, the day of judgment, the oppressor will bite his nails. I will regret and fear that I did not make the prophet my friend. I did not seek to win with the prophet. يا أيها ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا. I wish I had not made so my friend. I wish I had not made so my friend. فقد أضلني عن الحب بعد إذ جاءني because he led me astray after guidance was given to me on a silver platter. In the time of Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there was a person by the name of Bakhtiar. This individual was amongst the leaders of Quraysh. Very early individual who was the leaders of Quraysh. Now he was allowed to come to Quraysh that whenever he was a gathering, he was to have anyone who is considered in the community to be present at your party. So in our part of the Quraysh, he was having a party. He went to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, brought the horses aside, and he went and he said, Muhammad, I am having such and such gathering, and what you wasn't there. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, you want me to know our problem, but on the condition that you accept Allah, you deny the others, you accept the messenger of Allah. So, Muhammad will be very proud of the deal for the Prophet to be there, simply because he is amongst the leaders of Quraysh, and not having a single leader present is a big deal. So, for them in the right place, I'll say the thing is, I expect the messenger of Allah. So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam goes to the morning. When he goes to the Muslim, that kind of the right spread for many was not there. So after the Medina was over, before the right goes to the Medina, he says, first of all, I didn't see that the working would happen. He's talking about rumor has it that you must abandon the religion of your forefathers and yet you are the religion of your family. He said, oh, I was just saying it for to come to my wedding. I don't have no intention of something like that. I have no intention of accepting his religion. I have to stick that thing close to my mind. He said, well, I don't know. Everyone heard me. You said it. Prove it to me that you don't believe in the religion of Muhammad. So he said, okay. So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is praying in the Kaaba. This unfortunate individual, he goes to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is engaging in ibadah, and expects on the face of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In reference to this, Allah said, وَيَوْمَ يَحْمَدُ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ يَدَيْهِ يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي اتَّخَذْتُ مَعَ الرَّسُولِ سَبِيلًا يَا وَيْلَتَىٰ لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أَتَّخِذْ فُلَانًا خَلِيلًا لَقَدْ أَضَلَّنِي عَنِ الذِّكْرِ بَعْدَ إِذْ جَاءَنِي لا يسمع the oppressor will bite his nail out of regret that he was saying, I wish I had made a way with Muhammad. Ya Waylata, I wish I did not make so and so my friend. That the night that came to me, I had accepted the religion, but because of this individual, I turned out away and went to this is the reality of the effect that against the past in our life. And we know this is not limited to me. Even the knowledge of wisdom, when we have allowed successful people to place within us as well, we become successful as well as we learn from those that are successful. No movement is a matter of being. That when we are surrounding ourselves by the righteousness in our heart, those qualities are within us as well. Sometimes we will see it, but other people will be able to say that you've changed. Why? Because of the relationship that changed from both of the faces. Imam Bakhtiar, he puts five conditions that you should look at when selecting your friend. I don't have time to do all of them, but I can just do them. This way you will be calculated for their The first one he says is intellect. When selecting a friend, why? Because when one person wants to help you, it may just so happen they try to help you, but they just lack of intellect to help you. It's not too hard. He is already there. So even when he wants to benefit you, he will harm you. The second, don't be a person who can actively transgress the law of God and don't be friends with a person who actively facilitates the most side of God. Why? This is very deep point from the study of the mentioned. He says, because to consistently see a sin being committed, to consistently see a sin being committed, removes the significance of the sin from our lives. Listen to that. Consistently seeing a sin removes the significance of that sin from our lives. Think about it. There's so many sins that we see on a daily basis happening in front of us. The first time we come across that sin, it may be the biggest thing on earth that can happen. This is actually happening. The second time it happened, we still don't know anything to reverse it because we started the first time. Now, all the rest of the specialized is not seeing the sin being committed. We don't even have that to begin with. Why? Because we become immune to see this. We become comfortable with seeing this. Think about it now. 15, 20 years ago, there are things that universities were not accepted within society. Now, it's a different world. You know, with a lot of righteousness, allow us to be amongst the righteousness, allow us to be surrounded ourselves with those that are righteous, and make us the most righteous as well. Is that real quick? Just next, I am here on behalf of a Christian separate from the Atlanta, Georgia, to located in Georgia, which is about 25 miles downtown Atlanta. We're working on phases of our project. Phase 1 was building 100 type parking spots as well as large development. It just so happened that the person was talking to me this morning. He said they after the cake Christmas as we were so tight, they were able to complete phase 1 as well. Now we are on phase 2. Phase 2 is a requirement that the project is parking spots are made to make before we can get on to phase 3, which is the actual building. It's just phase 1 took us 8 years. 8 years because they actually give us a plan. Then we do the plan to the T. And the contact team we have to solve. This took 8 years. Now we're on phase 2. The country's going so fast, we can't keep up. January 2023, we found for a deadline to finish the 226 parking spots we're going to do. Alhamdulillah, we completed half of it already. We need to work on it earlier, but we're already moving it half of exercises I love for those that want to donate. Please do the generous days and offer support for this project. With the name in Africa, as well as the ownership project that was take into consideration any opportunities that we are given to claim Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Use this for the extended example of the love of Quran and Alhamdulillah. Firstly, fellowship, who is the system of ICCL Channel and critical. Secondly, understand Maulana, who is another ICCL member of the He is separated from the PBC's in Bakhtiar, last is Maulana, who is the ICCL member of the Fasihuddin,